Welcome to the Mindset Makeover. During this unique show, hosts Lisa Berry and Michelle Carter accompany you on a journey of mindful thinking, true feeling, and clearing mind chatter, all to align you with deep answers and multiple possibilities that help you move forward and live in the now. You become present, clear, and unstuck, and able to live fully led by your heart. Michelle and Lisa invite you to listen and feel this transformation through vibration of word, sound, and song. Open up to what's possible and experience a shift.
Makeover, What's Possible? The show that is surely to shift. Yes, I'm doing the extra shirt. Oh, woo! Do it again.
Where's the dinging? Hi, I'm Michelle.
Oh, goodness. I thought that was you.
No, it's really funny, though, that I have, there's so much dinging happening here. I guess it's the energy of the room, because I have the windows closed because it's so hot, so the air conditioning's actually on, but right now, the wind chimes keep going. I thought it was you.
Well, let's just share with everybody right now. Okay, so we know that was Michelle and I'm Lisa. Hello, everyone. But we literally were just talking about, I know we'll talk about it later, about different energy and vibration and interruption by sound. And I think the universe really wants to do that because it has never done that before.
Never. It's like, hello, I'm here first.
Yeah, oh wait, me first.
Sound is the host today.
Oh, that's beautiful. Actually, I like that. No, I'm going to write it down. Okay. Because everybody should know I take notes while I'm doing this because I love writing things down. I love seeing what sound is the host. Thank you, Michelle. I know.
It's all sound.
Oh.
They want the credit.
Yes. You know, I want to, well, of course, there's a million things I want to start off with, but there's really only one starting, is there? But, I love the intro for our show because I knew today and I felt today that we're going to go deep. Like, this is a powerful, deep one today. And it caught my ear heard the word where we go deep and find answers and clarity. And I was like, yes, we are.
Yes, for sure.
And now I know you have some fun stories to share about before. So last week, everyone, we did the Ho'oponopono, and we had asked everyone to write in what they were, looking to have support and help in forgiveness for themselves or for others, or just what they would like to have that space be held. So I want to let everybody know that Michelle and I have been not hard at work, but at ease with work, with holding that space for everyone. And one of the ones that really jumped out to me and came up quite often, actually, I wanted to share with everybody that response was, and I guess I can never guess what everybody's is going to be, but the one that was really almost like painful to hear because it made me sad, but I was really happy to be able that we can hold that space for you, was a lot of times they said, forgive me. Like, so the Ho'oponopono is, I'm sorry, please forgive me. So it was, I'm sorry for thinking that it's too late for me. Please forgive me for thinking I'm too old.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the too late for me. You know what? This one woman, she's in her late 40s, and that's what she was thinking. Her late 40s.
That's not too old. That's ridiculous.
That's like super young. And so I wanted to share. So just to let, I know she's listening. So just to let you know that we have held space, we will hold space, and everyone listening will hold space for you and everyone else who's feeling that way. So thank you so much for writing your Ho'oponoponos. We will always be accepting them. So write them in anytime at all. And please go and watch the video at 432shift.com. Watch the video and please give us a thumbs up because we want to know that you watched it. We want to know that you loved it, and we can move on from there. So today, Michelle, the full moon in my part of the world.
Well, if it's the full moon there, it's the full moon everywhere.
No, but it's within a few different hours and stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
In my part of the world, I think it was around this time in the afternoon, but I'm not. No, I can't remember. Oh, and by the way, so you have in Fahrenheit, you have 100 and something degrees today, don't you?
Oh, it's 100 and a billion plus a billion. No, it's last night it was 109 where I was. But luckily my friends had a pool, so that made it better. But today's supposed to be super, super hot.
And people often think that Canada gets cold and doesn't ever get hot. Well, we were hitting the hundreds with the humidities yesterday, but in in Celsius. We were hanging around that 30, 35, but today we're much better. So, as I get older, I think I like the heat more, so I'm kind of okay with it right now, which is funny. So everybody, welcome today. Today's topic and lessons and clarity, like I've been giggling this whole time, but really we are going to go deep because it's been heavy. And today's topic is, well, we made up this word, but we like it. It's called shadow moments.
Hey, I don't think anything's wrong with having some levity even when you're dealing with the heavy stuff. It's totally fine because sometimes you can get too heavy, but
yes,
and some levity to the heavy.
Oh, can you write that down too? Hold on here. See, that moon is giving me that completion energy, right? So it's all coming together. But now, shadow moments. We say shadow moments. Why that word even came up is I think a lot of us have heard about shadow personality traits, shadow architect types, shadow. I can't remember all the other shadow words, but any more, Michelle? Am I missing one? Shadow.
Well, there's all sorts of shadow. It also is perception, because on a hot day like today, you look for shade, which is also in a shadow, so it's all perception.
I was so grateful. I was giving gratitude. I was with yesterday was Father's Day, and so I was with my father, and when we were walking along, it's Fiesta Week, and it's very exciting, and I get really excited because I love celebrating cultures and getting together, so I did take my dad out, and when we were walking, it was like stepping into 10 degrees, like cooler in the shade, but you're right, perception and how instantly we can change. So I just love that you just put a twist on a perception of shadow. So Michelle and I were speaking, and she came up and she goes, well, we've had our fair share of shadow moments. And I paused and I said, shadow moments? That's cool. I like that term. Like, what? Wow, let's do that. Let's do something about that. And Michelle, actually, you thought of something really cool. Do you want to jump into your shadow story, or the shadow moment story? Oh, now we have shadow stories. Now we're just making everything up. So
we can have shadow stories. It's our show. We can make up whatever we want.
Not the shadow show, but no,
it's not the shadow show.
And I will refer to it, I'm sure. But yeah. So the biggest thing, what I want to be able to share with people today, because I have a heavy story I can't wait to share, but what we'll be talking about for this time together are shadow moments, and how do we get through them? How do we find the clarity to them? How do we feel good about them? And how Michelle and I find that we can do that is by getting to know a friend in me. So that's what I really want you to remember. So it's the shadow moments and a friend in me. And a friend to me. And with saying that, I don't know if we have time just before the commercial still to play just the friend of me so people can get a feel about that, and then we can go into commercial and then come back. What do you think?
I think we have time to play it. Yeah.
Okay.
Start off with that already.
I do. Everybody, I just wanted to let you know I will really feel that we need to hear this twice, because we're going to hear it, and then we're going to absorb it, and then we're going to have some stories and lessons, and then we're going to hear it again just to help you find the friend in you. So, yes. If we're ready.
Ready.
Okay. Ooh.
What will serve me? I'm attached. I have an identity with what has broken me. I need to break up with what I am codependent on. I need to identify with something that does serve me. How do I decode my attachment, my identity? Can I break up? Can I break it open and find out what's inside? Do I need to understand what no longer serves me? Or do I just need to recognize and align with what will serve me? My highest self, which will take me to my growth, my transformation. If I can believe that, I'm going to need support. I don't want to be codependent on anybody else. I don't want to be dependent on anybody else or anything else right now. I need myself. I need to find the friend in me. I need to find in me who loves me who values me, who supports me, who believes in me, who trusts me. I need to find the friend in me who I feel safe with.
Oh, such a foundational, good song.
Yeah, I really like that one. I think like anything we talk about, it all boils down to, there's a lot of reoccurring themes, is being kind to yourself. And no matter what's going on, that you come back to that.
Mm-hmm. And kindness is that form of levity that we were talking about. And I always get so grounded and calm after we hear one. I feel like I just, it's a euphoric, peaceful feeling, even if it is heavy. But I just want to, that friend in me is so important to not feel lonely and helpless.
Helpless, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of last night. I was totally thinking of like that it's the helplessness that is such a low vibration when you feel you don't have any choice. So it's, even if you have a tiny little shift to realize that you're not helpless, that can really get you out of the biggest shadow moment, if we will call them that, and then also the smallest things.
We know it's great that I'm glad you connected with that, because you don't know my story I'm going to tell either. And that was my, it was a shadow 48 hour. No, it wasn't that long, but anyways, it seemed like it was and I thought, because what happened was I went into feeling, oh my gosh, we can hear something and go, God, I feel so helpless. But then I thought, I believed that I was helpless, and that scared me. Like when we can say that all the time, like, well, I can't do anything about it or this or that. But when you believe it, no, that's a bad place. And that's when we want to help everybody who feels that way. And we'll help you find the friend in you for that. So as we do go into this, Michelle's a story, and then I have a story, and we will start finding friends.
And ourselves. And together.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM radio network.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth Radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Matt Connerton here. Join Jen Coffey and I twice a week for Matt Connerton Unleashed, a political talk show that's a little different than what you're used to. No liberal or conservative agenda here, just an honest dialogue about truth and how things really work in the world of politics. Matt Connerton Unleashed, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM radio network.
Well, I think we often do. Sometimes it's, Michelle, I'm having a clarity moment.
Ooh, yay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, ready? I'm ready.
Ready? I'm ready.
The difference between mind chatter and talking to the friend in you is talking to your heart.
Oh, yeah, of course, because mind chatter is like...
Is not your friend. No.
No, it's just full... That's like the little office of gossips going on in there.
Oh, that's cute too. I love all your analogies. Actually, you know, great mind chatter. Okay, that's actually, this is exciting. So if I'm going with my flow here, if I'm thinking about mind chatter being my mind and going little office of gossip, and judgment and ego, and then if I want to get close to the friend in me, which is my heart, that's where my friend resides. Well, how do I stop? How do I interrupt the mind chatter? So actually, this is a great place to start this. I think Michelle probably has a bazillion things in her studio that maybe we all don't have. We'll talk about other things, but I bet she has some snazzy stuff to stop the mind chatter, which means to interrupt or break that flow of sound or vibration. We can do it just by simply clap.
Yeah, you can clap. You can just hit your pencil on your desk if you're at work. It could be anything to crack that moment, because a lot of times, especially as we have we all have repeating patterns, but it becomes a loop, and like that mind chatter is just a loop. It's just, it's that gossip at the office that's telling you the same story they've been telling you for 8 years, and you're like, I already heard this story, but then you listen again, and it's just this loop. So sometimes cracking it, it's just a tiny shift that, you can like hear in my studio, and some listeners may have this. I have this little bowl. Oh, that feels good. Or wind chimes, or I really think the clapping or stomping your foot or doing something physical just really, really helps, even if for a second. Because I was thinking last night, even if you take, like when you're driving your car, it's not always that you have to do a 180 to change everything around. And that's what everybody thinks. It's like, oh, unless I change my life completely, then I'm just going to stay here. You could veer off. Even if you veer off your path 5%, you've totally changed directions. So I think it's the exact same thing when you're in that loop. Like, just snap out of it.
Here's to snap your fingers. There's no snap your fingers or whistle. Actually, it's funny because I have two gorgeous little amazing creatures, my cats, my Bengal cats, and they're outside on leashes. So if I need to get their attention, I mean, they hear me talk all the time. They're not going to be like, oh, mom's saying something. I always go, or I clap, or do something like that. And it's just a quick little interruption like, whoa, somebody needs my attention. So that's what you're saying. Your heart is saying, whoa, I need attention here. Stop listening to that loop, which you just said. I love that. And we don't need a big 180. Yeah, just a little like a hello, listen to me over there.
It's hearing yourself too, like hearing what's really going on. Because like you said, the chatter and the loop, that's because it becomes sort of that devil we know. We're like, I know this. Mm-hmm. So you just keep dealing with it. It's like the same stuff over and over again because you're like, well, I get this, so I'm just going to keep listening to it. But sometimes just that little shift can be it can change everything. It really can.
What was that one you just hit? What was that? Was that a singing bowl, or what was that thing you...
Oh, it was a tiny little... It's so cute. This was my favorite... Well, I don't want to say my favorite, because then I feel bad to the other bowls. But this is one of my favorites. I do this with everything.
No.
I love this bowl. It's a Tibetan singing bowl. I wish everyone could see it. It's so beautiful.
Post a picture. We'll post a picture after the show.
Oh, yay. I'll post a picture. This one is... I just love it. It's so beautiful. It really sings.
That's sound Tibetan. I love that. Oh.
Yeah, that one I ding every morning. It makes me very happy.
Oh,
and then the other thing, this little guy, this is just a triangle. Like old school triangles.
Oh, triangle.
I got all sorts of sound in here.
There is. I can. It's sounding in my. What's funny is we both speak French, and to sonner, to ring a bell, and I think of the word sound, and I think of all these church bells and bells ringing, and my whole place is just ringing and sunning like that right now. But you have a story. I don't know the story. Everybody listening, so I'm excited.
Oh, I would love my story. My story is not that. It's okay. If we're going to go really deep and really light today, because I have plenty of heavy stories. I could tell you a super heavy story, but I'll balance it out with a not heavy story.
Okay, you go light. I'm going to go heavy.
Okay, so I'll go light. So right before the show, of course, because why wouldn't this happen? Everything's like 5 seconds before everything. So I text Lisa to be like, I've lost my headset. And I'm like, okay. And I can feel that this sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I can feel this panic. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, you're going to talk without a headset and you'll be fine. And so I go downstairs and I look lovely, by the way, to see my neighbors. And I'm like, go downstairs. I'm like, please, nobody talk to me. And then I go to the car, no headset. And I would go back upstairs and I kept feeling it. And I kept seeing my lap and I was like, I know it's like beside the car. I could just feel it. But anyway, I went from the drama side of it because I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. I'm like, no, it's not. And if you echo, it's fine. And so anyway, I run downstairs again. My headset was exactly where my mind told me it was. It was right. And I had just been there. I was there 5 minutes before. So I don't really know if that's kind of shadow moment with the resolution, but it was 5 seconds before the show. And it was just because I kind of came to peace. I was like, don't make a mountain out of this. This is not mountain material. This is just not a big deal. And I think so I did have a positive result, but had I not found it, it would not have been the end of the world.
I think what that might represent, just in what I feel like, is that had to happen, and it had to happen before the show, because you wouldn't have gone into that possibility panic mode. And your friend and you came out to say, it's okay. You know what? Trust your gut. Go. Just don't. If you don't use the mountain material. And I think you pulled through, and it was an opportunity that rose or came up in your life so that it could show you that once you did, listen and calm and peacefully and go, just trust and have faith, and then you found it to have success. We need to build up success stories like that.
So, yeah, it was exactly where and I had just been there. I had been there 2 minutes ago, and it was right there, and I was like, oh, you nice little friend. I actually thought a friend of me. I'm like, oh, you're so good. You told me exactly where it was. Thank you.
Thank you, which is even more cool. So
I did. Oh, totally. I was like, see, look. No, actually, I did the same thing. I shattered my phone in a billion pieces the other day, and it was fixed. Zero drama. I was like, oh, this is broken, and now it's fixed. I was like, those used to be massive triggers. As silly as those are, those used to be big triggers for me to be like, oh, what will I do?
I think a lot of people have that, and a lot of little triggers will add up, and then suddenly they think, nothing goes right in my life. No, nothing ever goes my way. I'm not going to if anything is going to go bad, it's going to be for me. So we can end up in that loop, and that's where you get you're like at war with the friend in me. You're like, no, that's not, you're not going to share any positive stuff with me. I don't believe it, because those experiences. So this is an experience build up. I love that for you.
It's funny because, I seem to be really, really good in massive crisis, because I have had massive crisis. And it's like something goes, okay, and this happens a lot where people are like, okay, I've got to get through this. So they're in this big, huge, craziness, and it could be, it could be divorce, death, illness, all these that are huge. And something comes in to carry you through that. But then, the phone shatters or some ridiculous thing happens, and that's the thing you fall apart about, because you have so much energy taking over to, carry you through that difficult time. And I think in all those cases, I was just thinking a lot about, a friend and me in the shadow moments last night. And I was like, in all those cases, it's important, because it's just like what you said. It is the little things that just build up and build up. And then you start to tell yourself a story like, well, nothing ever works. There's no point in going there because they're always mean at that restaurant, or whatever. It could be anything.
And you know what's when you get so distant, like a long distance relationship between the friend and you, me, whatever in your heart, what happens is that you no longer can be there to serve others either. And that really displaces you from connection from others. So not only now have you lost the most important connection is with yourself, but then you are no longer there to support and hold it. So just everybody imagine getting this, turning that long distance relationship into a very close relationship that you're now best friends with a friend and me, and with your heart and with your soul. And as you are confident that you can be there for others who are on that same journey that haven't got there yet, when, like you said, those big things like divorce and a financial ruin and illness and things like that. And that is really a gift in life, to be able to serve others. And that's how we continually feed that relationship with the friend in me and the friend and others' friend in me. Right?
Well, I think exactly that. When you're kind to yourself, you're automatically more kind and more compassionate to others. You can't help it. You're like, oh, okay, well, I see that person is just doing the best they can, and they're hurting right now. And I can see that because I've been there, or I've felt that, and I am going to be kind to myself, so I'm going to be kinder to you. Instead of just putting this projection, like, this person hurt me, that person hurt me, and automatically you serve others better by going inside and being kinder to yourself.
That's exactly right. And I did want to share an update for everybody who did listen to last week's show about Benny, the dog. No, it was, and just a recap was Benny had some mysterious, we'll call it, what we thought was an illness, so to speak, but I immediately recognized, it's not. And everybody was everybody loves this dog. So just an update with everybody. Benny is actually 10 years old. We didn't realize he was that old because he's just so cute and handsome and young. But he is 10 and he does have hip dysplasia, but is very manageable through a little bit of anti-inflammatory and a little, just stretching. So I just want everybody to know thank you for all your love and support for him. And it all turned out amazing. And the owner was so grateful and thankful and just keeping calm. So that was what I was going to share with people, is that in that moment of, oh my gosh, this could be a crisis, if somebody can just help keep calm around you, it really extends and holds that, of course, things are going to be okay. We can manage this. We can deal with this. And going from that story, a very in-your-face kind of issue, right in your own life, your own backyard and what's going on. But then Michelle, this is the Lisa panic mode. I'm going to start the story. We'll finish it after commercial. But what happens when you are so overwhelmed by, let's take it even bigger than your own illness or a close loved one's illness or financial or divorce, but it's worldwide. And you go, oh my gosh. First of all, I hate this whole culture. I hate this whole world. I hate this whole group, and I can't do anything. Or you feel helpless, or you find out something that you didn't really know, and you don't even know to believe it or not, but you're now being fed this information. And you're going, first of all, I got to decide if I believe it or not. And then if I did believe it, where does that even go in my brain and in my life and then my heart? And then what can I do about it? So this is actually what I went through on Friday. And I was learning, I'll call it learning, because I was taking information that was true, but I really didn't know about it or think about it. It was shocking. And then I was so overwhelmed. I couldn't even get to helpless yet because I was just overwhelmed. And so I want to talk about that when we come back, because a lot of times right now here on OMTimes, that's what we're talking about, is helping the world and healing the world. So let's get back to that in just a moment.
This is OTR FM, part of the IOM radio network.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
You're listening to OTR FM, part of the IOM radio network.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I was fiddling with the mute button, and I was like, "Oh, wait, we're probably back." Oh goodness. So shall I? Can I continue that story, Michelle? Can I jump back?
Absolutely. I want to hear what the story is.
Okay, and I won't just sit on and focus on that the night, but I do want to express to everybody, listeners, that sometimes I really go I do. I go out of my way on purpose, very, very purposeful, to not listen to, I get there's bad things that happen in the world. I do, absolutely. And I'm glad that, so there are people with the strength to do that. I am so grateful that they are, because we do need to shed light on these things. But there are other things that can become, as you would say, I could call this global gossip. But also too, here's a great thing. When I watch a documentary, I know that I'm going to be shown a lot of the problems. Obviously, at first, that's what the whole documentary is about. But I know, and I have faith, that by the end of the documentary, they are going to offer me solutions that are very tangible, very plausible, that I can be involved with. So I do know I will not be left feeling helpless and big old cry face and, emotionally disturbed kind of thing. Well, I usually am emotionally disturbed by it, but I know there's something. So when you're out in social settings, and people are just talking about what they're talking about, whether it be politics and cultural events and stuff like that, I don't have my little protection, my shield, because I know with the documentary, I'm supported. So here it was, this conversation was being had, and I was shocked. I was overwhelmed, and I thought, oh my gosh, is that really the way the world works? Like, how do I not know this? And then I wasn't in alignment with it. I really actually didn't even want to believe it. Then I kept going back and forth. Am I being naive? Do I just not want to believe it because I am Pollyanna? Or anyways, I didn't have a closure to it. I didn't have a good ending, because now the night is over and I have to drive home. And I was really grateful that I did have the drive home, because I was just so disturbed, and I didn't have a way of any solution. I couldn't help. I didn't know how I could help. Right? Like, that's a weird, do you know what I'm saying? Have you've been in that, like, does that sound familiar to you, Michelle? Have you ever been in that kind of situation?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I had about a 45, give or take 40-minute drive home. I'm driving home, and I got in the car, and I was at first in that loop of, wow, oh my gosh, and revisiting all those details and this new information. And then I thought, okay, you know what? Nope. As Michelle and I like to say, we like to say nope. And I thought, what this is? I know that there's a place in me. There's a place in me that I can be comfortable with it, that I can just be okay with things and feel good about it and feel in a good vibration. So at first I was going to turn the radio on, but then I was like, no, we can't do that. I'm going to find this place in myself. And what happened was, even though it was a very cultural, very political thing, and I don't usually follow them, I don't really listen to, but I thought, you know what? I need to stop the separation, that feeling of being separate from anybody, from people. And if I am the same as everybody, then I can make a difference by being that drop in the ocean. I am the drop in the ocean, and they're the drop in the ocean. So as long as I make sure that my drop that I'm putting into the ocean is with the purity and with the good intention, with the love and forgiveness for myself and others, that I had hope. Like, it left me with feeling with hope. And all I kept saying is, I am the drop in this ocean. And that was the shadow moment there, was to help me realize that shadow moment, of real dark shadow moment. And I was realizing that this being the drop in the ocean, I have that huge ripple effect. And I'm not helpless, and it can just be starting off in my own thoughts, in my own world, in my head, in my heart. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Because, because I think when you do feel helpless, you go, what am I going to write to the government? Am I going to write to, what am I, which, yes, absolutely. There's lots of things we can do, sign petitions and do all sorts of things. But I think it does start right at the beginning and what happened was I kept that thought about being the drop in the ocean and knowing that I do make a difference. And I was given kind of like the perfect response to it, to say, the very next day when I was out with my father there, he ends up telling me, he ends up sharing with me about a kung fu movie, which was adorable. And, I'm going to go on a little bit here about this, but I said to him, Dad, what do you do when it's so big of a thing, but it's the right thing to do? And he assured me, by being that drop in the ocean, but there was a movie a kung fu movie, and it was about this fella who, was an Indian fellow who had land that when he was to die, he wanted to be buried under, but this is, decades later. He found out that these other people bought the land, but they wouldn't let him be buried there. And he was really, really wanting to have his burial spot. But then after getting to know this town, who had turned very angry and very, not very nice people, he actually refused the spot. He said, you know what? I'd rather, this is so beautiful. Is everybody ready? He said, I'd rather have my ashes spread and spread love on this town than be buried under the hate.
Oh.
I know, and I thought, this is my cute dad sharing stories about his kung fu movies, and he said, the philosophy is so beautiful, and that he goes, that one, even, not even when you're living and you're the drop of water in the ocean, but when you're buried and your ashes could be that much, like your soul, your spirit, your essence. And so, I was just having a peeking on you. I think Michelle's having a little bit of technical difficulty, or I am having technical difficulties, because 1 second. So, I was just, with all that and being there at Fiesta Week with all the cultures around us and knowing, I finally was getting this sense of peace and getting to know myself and checking in with the friend in me who is there for me, who, if I just gave it that time. So as my drive home, I'm in the state of true, honest to goodness disconnect and not knowing what to do. And I checked in with myself. I checked in and said, okay, friend in me, heart, soul, what have we got? Where's our connection here? And start small. Start small with finding out what can you at least do. If you can at least send out a positive thought, a loving thought, a forgiving thought, and then imagine that ripple. Imagine, you know what? Oh, it's so cute too, because at the same time, my dad said the same analogy that I often think about is, if you really are in that tough spot and you're really sitting at home or it's going through your mind, get a glass of water and put a little tiny drop of beet juice, like food coloring or beet juice, and watch how much that one tiny drop really affects the color of the entire glass, of the whole water.
That's a great analogy.
And it's funny that he thought of that's the same one I always think about. But it's a good reminder too.
Yeah, it really is.
So when we use that song, "The Friend in Me," when that was written, and then you put that music, at first it can be haunting and daunting.
Haunting and daunting. I like that.
And that's when we first hear that music, and that's why I want to share with you that that was a Friday night, and I had settled my thoughts about it. At least I didn't feel alone by the time I got home, and I was kind of coming to. And then Saturday, I was given evidence and proof that was true. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Just one more addition onto that is, I had moved to the house that I'm living to now a year ago, and I really have become quite. I know my neighbors. I didn't expect to do that because, well, when you walk cats, you tend to meet everybody. But kind of like walking cats, all right. But you meet everybody else who's walking their dog, and somebody said something really, really nice, and really it affected me. And they said, since you moved here, that it feels like the vibration of the street changed. And I don't live on a street that talks about vibration.
Oh, that's really awesome. They said that.
Yes, for that was a gift that you can't buy gifts like that, But that's the thing is you
are a ray of sunshine, though. You're like, hello. She basically wakes up and gets dressed with birds dressing her. Oh. And that is so funny. Did you guys hear that?
Yes. I think
that's so funny. It just was like, hello, I'm here.
The sound is hosting the show today. But that's and it was endless. And then I just have so many stories here because it was such a crazy. I think what it was is when you get deeply affected. I didn't even know what to do Friday night. I was like, whoa. So I think that I was really supported once I did connect with a friend of me, because then again another neighbor had come up and she listened to our album. Michelle, I was going to let you know this. She listened to the album, and her little dog all of a sudden was laying down just listening to it, and some other people in her house were listening to it, and it was shifting them, and that's the friend in me. When you find the friend in me, that is a shift you want.
And it's exactly in the little moments and the big moments, and it's very easy to feel, especially with, there's news and then there's propaganda and there's all sorts, because there's still a lot of crazy, not good things that are happening in the world. But I agree with you. Even that one even if for a minute you can give that one loving thought or loving action or anything you can do, even if it's a gigantic cause, you can do one thing to help that. That's better than doing nothing and feeling helpless. And I mean, I don't know exactly what happened, but I just know I get like that. I get like that when I watch documentaries all the time. I'm like, that's it. I use too much waste. And I don't use too much waste, but I watched this documentary all about like living no garbage. And I'm like, I can do it. I can do it. And then I was freaking out and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? And it's all wonderful and it is wonderful information. But say the world with how much, all the people in the world, if we all did one thing to reduce our garbage intake, how much the garbage intake would reduce. You know, even if we did one thing, we didn't all have to become garbage free, but if we all did one thing, and it's the same for anything, no matter how big or how small the cause, because we are strong together. So the more people that are sending each other love and changing, like, this is possible. It is OMTimes has made this happen, to make a community around the world of like-minded people, to not be so fringe, to not be like, we are so much stronger together and we can change this world, because the reality is, yes, there's still terrible things happening, but this movement of people wanting something better and something greater is also happening. And it has a voice now, and it's not so fringe. Like, yoga is a popular form of exercise. And, you know, people know so much more than they've ever known. And I think sometimes it's the little things.
I was going to, not to interrupt you, but I was going to share that I just read, and I'm not going to use actual numbers because I get lost in the numbers, but there was something released on one of the social media today saying how many people in the United States had gone vegan and how many millions, I repeat, how many millions of animals had been saved because of this. Now, we can all choose to do what we want, but even if, like the drop, we'll talk about the drop again. Maybe you don't have to go vegan, but maybe you have, what is it called? Vegetarian Mondays or, something. So that's the drop. There's the drop again. So with all sorts, whether you're going small, big, just know that when you connect to the friend in you, that's your heart, that's your soul. And to know that there is something that you can always do, then just know that there's that safety in that for you to feel the love. And when we come back, we're going to play the song one more time. And I have another story lesson for us.
You're listening to OTR FM, part of the IOM radio network.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness and action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
Hi everyone, this is Shay Parker, the host of Best of the Best, which airs live right here on IOM Radio every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm super excited to bring you expert guest hosts, spiritual discussions, free psychic readings, and so much more. I can promise that you will not want to miss this one-of-a-kind, fun, yet touching, down-to-earth show. Join us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific on OTR FM. This is Shay Parker, and I can't wait to see you there.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
This is OTR-FM, part of the IOM Radio Network.
Hello, and Mish, I got excited there.
We're very passionate, this show.
I know.
It's all over the place, but we're very passionate.
I love, check this out. We're right now, I feel like we are experiencing the passion that some other people might be familiar with in a debate, but we're not debating. We're like, I'm so happy. Let's do this. Let's get this powerful here.
Well, it's just because, I think I get so passionate about this because I see so much unnecessary pain and just so much pain anyway. There is a lot of pain in the world. And I absolutely agree with you, that feeling of helplessness sometimes, because there is so much going. It's like, how do I, as one person, help change? But if we all thought that, I'm saying the same thing that I just said, but if we all thought that, we could move mountains. And I don't think that's Pollyanna thinking. I think that's possibility thinking. And
here's a perfect way, and this is, at first, I will be very honest, when I first thought about this, I thought about it in a scary way, and then I went, no, wait, because you had said something earlier, the world isn't getting worse, it's getting better, and I'll tell you why, because when I was overwhelmed, and as I mentioned, it was a political thing, and then I thought, wait a second, when people hit the like sign, like thumbs up sign on Facebook, so they heart something on Instagram, that is doing your part, by the way, everybody. When you let people know, see, I always believe that I vote with my dollars. That's what I say. So when I buy something, I'm liking, thumbs upping it, I'm hearting it, I'm saying this is what matters to me and please give me more. So what's really important is that the content which we support and say your likes, like I love OMTimes little on Instagram. They have the cutest little drawings, and I have to honestly, I say aw every time I see one of their posts, and I have to love it. So, but please, like, just know that maybe you're in pain. Like my mother, my life seeing my mother in pain, physical and everything kind of pain. She's always on the left. Well, her right, whatever, my left, I'm looking at her all the time. Could only, her spine was fused, so she could only lean a certain way. She was only comfortable a certain way, but she was always there. And you know what? So she would be like, well, what can I do? Well, you know what? Right now, if she was alive, she could have, I bet you she would have her little tablet and she'd be liking and hearting and thumbs upping all the great content. So when we are asking you to visit our site or page or OMTime page, really that is your drop of not food coloring, because I don't like saying that, but your beet juice. That's the drop of your beet juice, which is sharing the love and what matters. So it's a start. And sometimes you want to go deeper. Sometimes with anything. I think anything to make a positive change in your life or someone else's life, that is a start. And you may go really, really deep with it, and you may just do one little thing, but all of it matters. Actually, Lisa knows this as doing nutrition for so long. Sometimes just changing one little thing in your diet or adding one little thing, that can do great benefits for your health. So it's the same, I think, to the health of the world, to the health of everybody. It's not to say you can't do, the big things are great too. The big gestures are amazing. Yes. But you can start anywhere. I think that's to not be so overwhelmed. I love you right now for saying nutrition. You just reminded me of the thing I wanted to say. Oh, you're so good. Okay. Goodness. So, A Friend in Me, that actually was written specifically for a very, very overweight woman. And oh my goodness, I'm so glad you said that, because we get to listen to it. I'm going to have to tell this story really fast. So yes, that song was written for a woman who was over 400 pounds, and she needed to connect. And you listen to the words and you can hear that where it says, what do I need to break free from? And sometimes that weight is your thing to think that you can't do anything. And you know what? I wrote that. I remember, oh my gosh, that's what I was so excited to tell you, is that was so for everything, from weight loss, from food, from health, from world issues, A Friend in Me is for everyone. And with that, I don't know if we can, could we hear it again? Yeah, we can hear it. I would love, so everybody think of what you really, really would love to be able to do something about, anything about, and then please listen to this song and Michelle's beautiful voice singing to connect you with your friend and you. That was a beautiful one too, though.
Yeah, it wanted to update itself.
What will serve me? I'm attached. I have an identity with what has broken me. I need to break up with what I am codependent on. I need to identify with something that does serve me. How do I decode my attachment, my identity? Can I break up? Can I break it open and find out what's inside? Do I need to understand what no longer serves me? Or do I just need to recognize and align with what will serve me? My highest self, which will take me to my growth, my transformation. If I can believe that, I'm going to need support. I don't want to be codependent on anybody else. I don't want to be dependent on anybody else or anything else right now. I need myself. I need to find the friend in me. I need to find in me who loves me, who values me, who supports me, who believes in me, who trusts me. I need to find the friend in me who I feel safe with.
I just feel even more connected every time.
I think it's very important for us to find love and compassion for ourselves. So, because I mean, that's how we help contribute to this being a better place.
It is, I'm so, that's reminded me of something that I really connected to last week. Somebody, I don't remember if I heard it or I don't know if somebody said it to me or I heard it. And a lot of people will say, well, I'm here for you. If you need anything, I'm here for you. And for some reason it always, I don't say that to anybody, which is, at first you'd think that'd be weird. But the language I actually say, because it means something different, is I'm here with you. If we can be here with ourselves, I'm with you. I'm with you, and everything I have in my being and soul is here with you. When I feel like, just as me personally, when someone's like, if I were to say I'm here for you, it means like I want to physically go do something or be there, but I want to be with, and you know what's funny is I thought about when people say peace be with you. They don't say peace be for you. They say peace be with you. And so I think when we're with ourselves and with the friend in me, then we will find that compassion and kindness.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, again, when we are the friend with ourselves, we can be a better friend, daughter, mother, husband, wife to everyone else in our lives.
Right. And then I was just thinking of that, because then it just travels off to the world do you remember, did you ever do pen pals when you were little?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. When I was little.
Yeah, like super little, like in school, and you write a letter or a note to you have no idea who, and the whole class maybe writes them, and then they just send them off to another country, like another part of the world, and you feel like this connection. Then they write you back, and you're so excited, and you think, and then you start asking questions, and you start learning about them, and then you have this relationship, and you know what we could do? Let's have everybody. Okay. I'm gonna have homework. No, let's write a pen palette. Let's write a letter. I want the listeners, if you, even a sentence, you could write a letter. Lots of people love writing lots and lots. Write a letter, write a statement, write a thing. What would you, if this was, your heart was on the other side of the world and you wanted to connect with it? What would you write? Let us share that with us. Come to our site, put it on our thing, put our Instagram, take a picture of something how you would want to connect. And what would you say to your heart? What questions would you ask if you were just getting to know them right from the beginning, right from the start? Like a pen pal.
And now we have a global pen pals. That's the beauty of the internet, that we're all connected and we can connect with each other. So I think that's a great idea. Everybody, you can send us pictures, right? We'll make a page for that. We can totally have a page specifically for if you want it to be public, we can post it. And then, just so we can all connect. Like, I have had my issues in the past with social media and things like that. But then when I see, again, a perspective shift on how awesome it is, like that we can connect with the world. And that's essentially why we chose to do this show. So we can connect with everybody, wherever you may be. And so send us anything. Say hello. We're at 432shift.com and 432shift everywhere else. Instagram, Facebook. What's that other one? Twitter.
Yeah, we don't do Twitter too much, but we will be there. You know what
we do?
The Instagram I think would be really cool, because if somebody doesn't find the words, take a picture of whatever speaks to your heart, whatever speaks to the friend in you, wherever you go. Like maybe you go to a creek or the ocean or down by the beach or walk through the forest. I watched a really cool documentary that was just released for free for a couple of days. It's I believe it's called The Abundance Factor. Fantastic job. And by the way, the fellow who did it, oh my gosh, I can't believe I don't remember his name right now, but he's fantastic. He's from BC, Canada as well, Michelle. So,
awesome.
And you know what he did? He started the entire documentary off right in his forest where he always goes. And so he shared that with us. So that'd be a fantastic, we can do a little collage of that as well. Wherever you connect to the friend in you, your heart, take a picture of it. Share it. We'll post it and we'll do something fun with it.
Yes, absolutely.
I always say, it's, BC is massive, but yeah, it's like, no, that's Michelle's place. Oh, LA is her place too.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. And write us at 432shift.com.
We're so excited. We'll see you next Monday. Be careful.
You're listening to